This is a 2026 Ram 3500 Mega Cab. And we have to discuss one of the biggest advantages Ram still has today. I borrowed this truck from Ken Garff Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in West Valley, Utah. Be sure to text Josh down below if you would like to buy this truck. It is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. Base price comes in at $80,075. And then here's a short listing of the standard features. Remember, the Mega Cab does come standard with diesel and full drive, so anti-spin comes standard. Starting off the options, this is a must-have, is the towing tech group because it gives you the 360 camera, and I did skip over that metallic paint for $295. This also has fifth wheel prep, night edition package, Laramie level 2+, front and rear floor liners, sunroof, air suspension, transfer case, skid plate. Destination comes in at $2195 for a total price of $96,310. Back in 2019, I don't think you could get a Laramie in the 90 grand range, even if you tried. Today, it's super easy, and this truck doesn't even have all the options on it. Now you guys see, this truck does have premium lighting standard now, so in a lot of cases, it doesn't really make sense to get the limited until you see that it's still missing the fender flares, which are not available. Now you can add them after the fact, but I'd rather just get a limited at that point because there's other things that you don't get with this Laramie trim. And I did a comparison, so if you want to check that video out, maybe I'll put it at the end of this one. Night Edition does make the Forged Blue. If I got Forged Blue, I'd have to get Night Edition package for sure. It looks so stinking good, especially with that Sport Performance hood. Cannot wait to show you guys the payload. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna skip over really quickly. I wanna show you guys the biggest advantage that Ram has today on this truck. So let's go ahead and set up. So here it is. If you're looking at a Ram truck, having this Mega Cab is truly the way to go because it is the biggest cab in the segment. Now, the only downside to it is the front seats don't have as much space as I was like, especially if you're long-legged. But this seat is pretty much all the way back, right? And even still, I have great legroom. Also, these seats are heated. It is an option. But you can also recline the second row too. And this right here, when you have older kids, becomes a big deal because you want your kids to have a little bit of comfort. You can't make their life hard all the time. With that, if you put the seat up, even at this position, the seats do still have good comfort. Now the roof is a little bit lower, but they do have a bump out right here. In the center, there's a slight hump, but I would say even for me, I could be comfortable on a 2-hour trip. And I'm willing to bet you can get 3 adults in this second row as well. Now I think the biggest advantage to this seat is that it can actually drop all the way down to the floor like this. So you guys see that. And if you want to put this seat down, all you have to do is just pull this lever right there, drop the seat down, and you guys see there is storage behind the seat. Not much right here, but I'll show you on that side in a second. But when you have the seat folded this way, you can still utilize the storage below the seat. So not only do you have it behind the seat, you have it beneath the seat, and it's, I mean, that's probably at least 12 inches of height there too. And on the other side, you can fold the seat flat like that. So if you need to carry something inside the truck that's kind of big, you have a nice solid floor surface. And as I mentioned, there is storage right here. And this is pretty decent. That's nice storage. So yeah, not only is it a comfort factor for like older adults to sit back here, but you do have great versatility in this cab. The only controversy with the Mega Cab is obviously the styling though. Some people do not like the way this cab looks. I personally do like the styling, especially when the truck is leveled on 37s or 35s for sure. Now 20-inch wheels, as you guys saw, solid front axle. All the badging is blacked out because of that Night Edition package. You have all the lighting, and this truck having 360 camera with that package that you just saw earlier. Painted door handles with smart key system, power to pull-up running boards. 32-gallon fuel tank because of the mega cab. Crew cab standard bed is 31 gallons. 7.5 gallon DEF, and 3,500 gives you the leaf packs out back. This one also had the optional air suspension, so this truck is probably going to tow the best when it's all said and done. But yeah, check that out. Really nice stuff here. And for 2025 plus trucks, you now have a 342 rear, anti-spin, and there are the airbags for the truck. There's your spare tire. There's a light beneath here. Let's go ahead and step in the bed. Now you have to check out my description for my Juggernaut tie downs. They do give you these straps that work really good. Fifth wheel prep package is right here. You have your 7-pin and 12-way plug with 400 watts of power. Did they install that upside? I think they installed this upside down. Interesting. Someone was really high at work that day. Now just above, you do have a bed view camera. And then here's that roof with the sunroof. No clearance lights. Every truck I own will always have those. Unless I got an insanely good deal on one without it. It has to be crazy, because then I could trade it and get what I want. You guys ready to see what's under the hood? Let's talk about this Cummins real quickly. Here is the legendary Cummins inline 6.7 liter displacement. You guys will see right here, serviceability is now a lot easier compared to the 2024 and earlier pickups. Dual fuel filters right down below there. Hopefully you guys can see that. There they go. And you have 10 extra horsepower out of this engine for a total of 430 horsepower, 1,075 pound-feet of torque. New intake manifold, larger intake and exhaust valves, no more grid heater, which means I think that's going to probably help with the boost, and it's probably why the truck feels a lot more peppier, and it does have a better transmission behind it. So the 8-speed ZF Torque Flight transmission has deeper gears. I think that it really fixed the Cummins. It also fixed a lot of other issues that Ram has had for like the 3/4 ton segment, because you could never get the high output Cummins in those trucks, and now you can. So with all the updates, we'll have to wait and see how this engine performs. They did go to cast iron, so no more the compacted graphite iron. Ford PowerStroke is the only engine in the diesel segment that uses that. The Duramax is still using cast iron as well. So let's go ahead and check out the interior, and then I'll show you guys the payload. Ram is still really strong for the interiors on their trucks. Harman Kardon 17 speaker. They have the best mirrors in the business because they're both powered and heated. Auto up and down for the front windows, and the attention to detail, it just is timeless, really. Now these seats are really comfortable. They're not too soft, they're not too stiff, they're just right. Tilt headrest comes standard, and you guys see the roof, right? The roof is black to go with the black interior. That makes sense. Here's some of your lighting controls. You have power pedals, tilt only for the steering wheel, and then here's that push button start. 12-inch screen, 14.5. And on this side, there's a cover with some lighting. And check out what we have here. This is for anyone out there looking to haul a bed camper. So this is the Consumer Information Truck Camper Loading. And it just pretty much shows you the instructions and what you have to do here. So 2,949 pounds of capacity. That's not the payload, so I'll show that to you guys here. And be sure to pause if you want to see more of that. But I'm seeing this more in the trucks, and I'm really happy that Ram is doing that. Because if you don't know, Ford makes you pay extra, $160, not much, but they make you pay extra for that. And Ram makes it standard. You guys saw the little sunroof there. Dual chargers, 115 volt power plug, decent storage for the center console, and 360. That should come standard on this truck in my opinion. I'm just being picky because, you know, Ford does. Dual stage exhaust brake, and this is for the air suspension. Forward drive, no forward drive auto. Again, something else I would like to see. I pushed the alternate trailer height button and it just says it there. It doesn't really do much for the 1 ton pickups. It doesn't drop down like the half ton, like the half tons and the 3/4 tons. If you get a 3/4 ton, you can actually use the air suspension a lot better, but the leaf's kind of affected a little bit. Here's that gear limiter, adaptive cruise control. There's just so much stuff this truck has, and I think that Ram has just done a good job with this too. This is one of my favorite screens for this, and they've pretty much combined some of the selections here too, and I like that. And what else? Right here, vehicle. Actually, let's go to dashboard. Off-road pages. I do like the off-road pages because it shows the altitude, all your gauges, and then same thing goes for your towing menu here. Really nice information. And if you want to turn on your heated seats or heated steering wheel or ventilated seats, there are no buttons on the outside of the screen, so that's like a quick menu. Or if you go down to comfort, you can leave this screen up if you like, and that way you can get through those quicker. But overall, this is a nice truck. I think Ram has done a great job with this, and once they update this cab, hopefully they keep the mega cab in the future. Gross axle weight rating is going to be 6,000 pounds. The rear is 7,000 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 12,300 pounds with 20 by 8 wide wheels. All in payload capacity is going to be 3,771 pounds, 80 psi for the tires out back, 65 for the front tires. By the way, that passenger seat is going to be a 10-way just like this driver's seat too. I didn't mention that earlier. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Hopefully now that I have a Ram store next to a Ford store, I can start doing some comparisons more often with Ram and Ford. Later.